Hey, what's up? How you doing? Today I want to talk about the concept of a win-win. Isn't that what we should be shooting for every day? That the people in our lives don't lose, or we don't have to lose. A lot of times we think that that's what it means to be humble. You know, that I'm going to lose. Look, the reality is that because of what Jesus did, because He suffered for me, He died for me, He rose for me, I'm going to heaven. Life is win-win. It really is. Now, the first time I came to this concept was Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Now, again, I know it's sort of a self-help book, it's a business book, whatever. I love it. I think there's some really, really amazing stuff. You should probably check it out. Seriously, because this is one of the concepts. Because, again, he says that a lot of people will go with various scenarios in life. There's lose, win. And so that's where I lose, but you win. And so maybe when your kids were little, you're playing checkers and you let them win. That's lose, win. I lose, you win. Or maybe it's win, lose, right? Where I want to teach my kid a lesson, and I'm gonna beat them at checkers. So I win, they lose. And we often can go into our lives at school thinking that. Our lives at work thinking that's the goal. It's either lose, win, or win, lose. And Covey says it should actually be win-win. Because honestly, if it's not win-win, you could color it any way you want, but it's the opposite is lose-lose. Because even when you win, that other person loses. And if you're in a relationship with them, like if they matter to you and they should, that's not a victory. And again, you can turn those tables and it's still going to be the same way. It's just not a healthy thing. We come out everything from a win-win kind of situation. Romans 14, I love this passage. It's verse 8. Paul says, "For if we live to the Lord. And if we die to the Lord. So then, whether we live or we die, we are the Lord's," right? That last part is like the most incredible thing to latch onto in your life. You are God's child. You are His. He claims you. He says, "Yeah, you're one of mine." He says, "Yeah, your family. You're my child, my son, my daughter. My son gave his life for you. You are free. You are forgiven." And so, I mean, what could you possibly come up against that would change that? And the answer is nothing. Nothing. Nothing will separate you from God's love in Christ. That truth, right? Paul, in another part of Romans, he says that very thing. No, our salvation, our eternal destiny has been decided by Jesus, and it's been given to us, right? It's not a surprise. It's not like we'll see what happens. No, we know what happens. And so I can even face death going, man, I win. And if I get to live, I get to win because He's with me. Every single day is a win because of Him. I don't have to get the win. I don't have to get the promotion or this or that, the thing to make me feel better about myself. Now hear me out. Those are good things. When you get a raise, when you get a promotion, when you maybe you're in business and you win that account or whatever, that's okay. But our goal is, again, to live in that win-win mindset and to have our hearts set on that, to know that, when all is said and done, people need to know who Jesus is. And that's the win-win. I want them to have that confidence. I want them to have that comfort and that reassurance every day, the same reassurance that I have. And it's not going to happen, and certainly not as effectively, if I'm always trying to get the win at someone else's expense, or even just taking the loss for someone else's expense. But no, we're going to look at things the way God calls us to look at them, with reality and with His truth. All right, so yeah, it's win-win. I hope that helps you. We'll talk to you next time for another follow-through. Hit that subscribe button and share this with somebody in your life.